how to get more clients for your business. So let's base it off. This is you here. This is you, the product. Wait. This is you, the business, the product, whatever you have here. Now, you are trying to sell to this, the customer, right? Yay. The customer, okay? And you are trying to make money, right? But in order to make money, the customer has to give you money. And how do customers decide who to give money to, especially in this economy? They want value. So you have to provide value. Now, what is value? Value is very specific and it depends on everybody, on each individual person. So let's say you don't know who you're selling to. That's step number one. You need to identify who you're selling to. Once you know who this person is, so for example, if you have a coffee shop, okay, a local coffee shop, who usually consumes coffee, either working professionals or mothers that stay home or anyone that's interested in coffee, basically that could need it either in the morning or during lunch hours or after work. After work, there's gonna be less traffic. But here, now let's see. This person, you need to write down a list. What do these people do? What age group? What demographic? Where do they live? Where do they usually visit? What foot traffic? What stores or what stores? Your competitors? Who's doing successful? Who's doing really well? Right? Everything. So you have a basic image of who this person is. Now, once you know who this person is, you look at who this person looks at, right? What influences do they have? Okay. Once you figure out what influences they have, that's when you can target their influences, right? Because they will usually listen to whoever they're viewing, especially these days with social media. And once you figure out who they watch and where they get their entertainment from, right? Then you know who to target. So you, as a business, go out and sponsor these people, right? Sponsor these people. But this is very important. You don't want to sponsor them with something that's not relatable, right? You want to be able to identify what is relatable to this person. Why does your target audience watch or consume these people? And once you do, you write down a list again. Because Susie watches her because she can relate. She's a stay at home mom. And this influencer or this brand or whatever is also stay at home. And they can relate based off not only the positive but also the negative. So based off their insecurity of loneliness, based off what they have to do during the day, based off not having a lot of friends, based on whatever it is. right? And then the positives, yeah, watching their kids is really nice. What do they do when they go out, and so on and so on. Now, let's say here, why does Susie like this male influencer? He's attractive. He might be a little younger than Susie or something. And Susie identifies with him with guys her age, right? Or guys she used to want to date, right? Guys she knew from high school, guys she knew from college, and now she fantasizes about being with these guys again, but she's scared they would not look at her the same because Susie, let's say Susie is 40, right? Now, you, as the business owner up here, know if you provide Susie with, let's say your barista is a hot 26-year-old man, right? And you're not a barista or a commercial, or is a woman that looks like Susie maybe, or but that resembles that stay-at-home mom. So she probably only works part-time and is in the shifts, right? Perfect. Now, then let's say the third influencer Susie watches is a young girl. Let's say she's 19. Susie probably only consumes her content to either stay in touch with the youth and know what her daughter is watching, or to relate and rekindle that young spirit that she still has, of course, because age is just a number, but you always feel a certain way inside. It feels like you never grow up for some people, right? We are all just basically still whatever age we want mentally, and then our physical bodies get older due to food that we consume, due to the environments, due to stressors, due to just being on this earth for a certain time. Now, all these three characters are different characters in society, right? All of them. But all of them represent either an insecurity or a secure feeling in Susie's mind, right? And Susie represents an entire group, a group of Susies, okay? Susie represents the group of Susies. So let's say to get a Susie, you have to target Susies, right? Now, you probably want a Susie in your coffee shop because Susies tend to have a lot more time, tend to spend a lot more money, tend to tell their group of Susies, look, I found this great place where we can talk and hang out. They have this young barista. They have a young girl, the young spirit, who works there probably after or before college. And then they also have, let's say, a boss or a stay-at-home mom that's there and they can relate. Right? Now, if you as a new business can provide Susie with all three of these, Susie will become a repeat customer, right? So then you have Susie here. She'll feel like all of her insecurities have been targeted, thus creating this wholesome place for her to go to. Now, Susie will tell other Susies, and these other Susies will tell other Susies, and these other Susies will tell other Susies until at some point it trickles down to the J's, the Johns, right? And why would the Johns come? That brings us back to, what do the Johns consume? The Johns probably like the 19-year-old hot girl, right? Or let's say 20 something. Right? It doesn't matter. It's like the Johns, like most men, probably consume some sort of weird content, like girls or something stimulating them. Now, if you can hit both targets and make it a place of comfort for Susie and John to go to, because the underlying product that you want to do with your business is good coffee, right? You're not setting out to get Susie and John first, right? You just want to have good coffee. Okay? Now, especially as a local coffee shop, I'm sure your main goal is to get a local base. This is just an example of a local shop, okay? There's, if you have an online business, it's kind of the same, but still completely different. It's on a major scale, but I'm just saying on a small local business scale, if you start a business, this is how you could quickly gain a loyal customer base, right? Because now, and this is important, in your coffee shop, you need to create seats, couches, areas that Susie and John can hang out at. But not only but they have to be able to hang out with other Susies and Johns and Susies and Johns, right? So you want to do a seat where they can talk, 4 people combined, where they can all converse, and you have your bar, right? Your coffee shop, boom, 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 with the 3 demographics. Now, why these 3 demographics? Because if your goal is to get John and Susie, by combining these 3 specific characters, you automatically target both. And why? Because John is going to be like, yeah. Like Susie always goes there with her other Susies, right? And they all hang out there. Why? Because they probably think the barista's cute. They probably have a new connection now with the stay-at-home mom or the mom that works there. And they have a great discussion. And then John thinks, oh, wow. Now I see why. Some cute girls too, right? Because if you only hire cute girls, you probably alienate Susies. Because Susies will feel competition. Susies will be like, why would my husband go there? Right? You will attract only Johns, which comes with a whole other set of problems. Because Susies will get jealous and try to find flaws in your business. And Johns attract other Johns, and those Johns attract creepy Johns. And you don't want creepy Johns. Even though they might spend a lot of money, once creepy Johns start coming into your business, at a regular basis, it's tough for anyone to feel comfortable in the end, for young girls to come because, and this is okay, this is only for a coffee shop. Well, not only, but for a local business like a coffee shop. Because if you have Susie's, right, and John's at your business, and then that attracts Susie and John's daughters and sons. Why? Let's say daughters, because Susie will take Camilla to a coffee shop because this is her new hip place, right? This new coffee shop opened up. It's amazing. You should go there. Boom. Now Camilla goes and she sees a bunch of Susies, so she feels comfortable because Susies remind her of her mother. Now Camilla might not stay and converse if too many Susies stay there, but if you, as a coffee shop owner, make it so Camilla's can come at a time when Susie's are in bed or probably at home on the weekend when Camilla's on a party, and you create an after party, then Camilla's will also come and make it their spot, which will in turn attract Kens. Because Kens want to go where girls their age are. Right? And Johns, based off the social proof, will tell Kens, look, there's this really cute young girl. And they know, Johns know they are too old for this cute young barista. But it's like candy to them, on the eye. Like, they love watching it. And it's a good excuse to make Susie happy. And Susie will never admit that she likes the eye candy too, of the 26-year-old hot barista guy. But she will use it as an excuse, And this is why hiring is so important, right? Because these three are interchangeable. What I'm saying is you need one woman that relates to the mothers in the area. And it's important that you know your demographic, right? That you know your local demographic, okay? You need to know your local demographic. But if you know your local demographic and you see it's mostly Susie's and Ken's, then it's important to hire like this. Because then you immediately create something relatable that targets all demographics, right? Let's say you do the same scenario and you hire 3 men in their 20s, 20, 26, 29. What base will you attract? If they are too sexy, you will attract females like Camilla, which is great, right? But Camillas have to go to school or work. Right? But if you, and the Kens would try to get the Camillas out of this place because they will feel a certain way, especially the Kens that are dating the Camillas. Okay? Now, I don't know if this makes sense. It makes sense in my mind and I'm trying to explain it. Now, if you hire the same let's say three, but they are females, you will attract a bunch of Kens and some Camillas. Okay? But at some point, these Camillas will have discussions with Ken and tell the Kens that they don't want them going there after they went there for one time and they saw who and why Kens want to go there. Right? And these girls will at some point quit unless they're sluts. Let's be real. No, like, I don't mean it in a bad way, right? I don't mean sluts in a bad way. I mean it in a way of unless they like the male attention, because if they are so attractive, it will attract Kens plus creepy Kens, right? And the creepy Kens will make it so they don't feel comfortable anymore. Because there's always one weirdo, always. Unless you hire, like I told you hire someone that reminds them of their mom, someone that reminds that of the young female, and a hot and an attractive young man. Right, now let's make the scenario with you hire only elder women. Okay? Right? Great. This gives your coffee shop the identity, the brand identity of elder women, which is fine, right? But Kens will probably come in and leave. They'll come in and get their coffee and leave. Camillas might come in and stay for a bit with Susie's and then leave. Johns will come in with the Susies and stay for a bit and leave. And then you have Johns that are single, same age group. They'll come in, maybe try to hit on them and then leave. It will simply be a coffee shop for them, right? That's why hiring, like I told you in the beginning, is the perfect way to create an environment that automatically guarantees foot traffic, right? Because this foot traffic will make it so you have eye candy, so you have relatability, so you have comfort, and so you have a certain protection of creeps. Because creeps will not, I don't know how to explain this in a way that it's not weird sounding, right? But it's, if you have too many Johns will attract Kens because either it's their son or whatever. They say, look, there's these hot girls. If you hire only hot girls, right? And I've seen it many times with businesses, many times, right? Because that's what a lot of businesses do. Like, for example, selling Sunset, right? They hire only hot or attractive females. And what does it do? It's good for Johns with money. But why does this business model work in real estate? Because they only have one goal, and that's to get the money from the rich Johns. And the creepy Johns can often not afford those houses. You get me? So it's a one-time transaction. Boom. The Johns think they have a chance. They're more willing to buy with her, not only to flex, but also to maybe show her, look, I got money. You know where I live now. No, no. I don't know. I don't know what they think. Whatever. Right? But it works because it's a one-time transaction. So they don't have to talk to them again. But in a coffee shop, or any business that you want to create a local base, and it's best to create a familiar environment. Now, another important part is don't be too familiar. So the one employee I would stick with, regardless of what happens, is the 40-year-old, or it doesn't have to be 40, it can be 50, whatever, late 30s, whatever. Okay, just someone that stays. Who is interchangeable? The young, attractive female and the young, attractive male. Right? Because they are in school, uni, whatever, work, whatever. They change a lot. That's perfect because that creates novelty. And your steady base of Susies and Kens, no, the eye candy is interchangeable. And you never know. You might come in one day and there's an even more attractive eye candy for them. But they have been living in the neighborhood for years. Okay? But they always have a reference point here. Oh, hey, how you doing today? Hey, how you doing? You had a good day? Yeah? Yeah, me too. Oh, come back tomorrow for more coffee. But what about Thompson? Oh, Thompson at school. It's gonna be Michael tomorrow. And Susie and other Susies will love it. And then what about Camilla? But not only Susie's, Camilla's also like it. That's what I'm saying. And John's will not care because they know interchangeable. You understand? And it creates this rotating field of familiarity where you have one point of reference and you have eye candy that switches out, right? And then if you have, for example, a Camilla that stays because you like her as an employee. She does a great job, and this is her only job at the moment. She's not in school. She's a great girl, from a local girl, whatever. Or she's new to town or whatever. Then I would hire another Camilla. That changes. Because then, not only do you have a new point of reference for familiarity, but the novelty doesn't die out. And it creates an even better playing field for Kens because they will bring their friends now. Because they don't feel in competition anymore. And once you have this, your business, because your product will be so good, and that's important, your product has to be good. Because if it's really bad, people will not come back regardless. But if it's good or good enough, it should be amazing, of course, right? Then you'll make cha-ching money consistently. And the better your business gets, the more loyalty you build. Because not only will people feel familiar in your social hierarchy and harmony, but they will also know that you are a business that innovates and that gets better and better while keeping the core. So yeah. If you follow these steps, you'll do well. I can pretty much guarantee it. Picture any neighborhood, right? But you have to know the demographic and you have to switch these three roles. You have to hire them according to your demographic. If you move into a neighborhood where the Kens and the Camillas, let's say, the Susies are not yoga moms, but the Susies are Muslim women, right? With burqas, because that's your major demographic. Then the one woman, the familiarity point should be the woman with the burqa or with the headscarf that looks like most women. Why? Because middle-aged women either don't work and stay at home, or they do work and then they want a reference point of familiarity, and because everything goes from them, they have sons, daughters, they have husbands, or they don't, and then they are even more loyal to your store. So you need to know your demographic. Okay? And that's it. That's basically how you get more customers for your small local business or for your local business. And you can do this, you can replicate this in every single neighborhood. Your store could start off in one neighborhood and then expand, and you do the same business model in the other neighborhood just surrounding their demographic. Or another model is hiring the same. Yeah, no, because that's for a whole another video. Where let's say we take the example of only hiring the same Ken, the same Camilla, the same Jay, the same Susie. Then that becomes your brand identity. And that's when you have to target through marketing and through commercials. So the Susies that you are trying to target come to you regardless of where they live. But that's a whole other video. This is more for local businesses and creating foot traffic. Because foot traffic, familiarity, equals loyalty equals money equals innovation equals expansion. And expansion equals small turning into big business. Alright, thank you for watching this video. I hope somehow was understandable. And if you want to book a consulting session, regardless of if your business, if you have an idea, or if you already have an established business, or if it's a startup, you can book a consulting session. And then, yeah, I help you. So yeah, on this hungover Sunday, thank you for tuning in to another episode. Let me know what you guys want to see, what business you want to evaluate, or yeah. I'm doing this while I'm kind of sick right now, so bear with me. But I wanted to make this video for you guys. So have a good day. Subscribe, like, comment your opinions, because I want to create a discussion. And yeah, have a good day.